Hello, and welcome back to Factorio Space Age. We have just completed building a platform which may be able to make it out to the edge of the solar system. I did a grand tour of the planets and brought us all the way back to Aquilo, where we were making some of the final bits of equipment, which I believe have been loaded onto our platform. It's our railguns. And I was thinking, after I stopped the last recording, that we missed something. I forgot to research the Prometheum Science Pack, which is what allows us to actually get to the solar system edge. Okay, so that's going to take a couple of thousand research. Thus, our to-do list, make more cryoscience. So I need to automate cryoscience. Now this is going to need ice and lithium plate. I've got ice coming in a, well, I have a train worth of ice somewhere. And I probably don't have it brought in yet. I may need to add another section to our train up here. Yes, I do need to do that so I can get some ice in, or I can just add ice in down here. Let's just add it in where we can. So we're just going to do this one little step at a time. Rail, and this is going to be Aquilo rail. This is a drop left flea stop. And you're going to tag in just right onto this. Notice our top heater there is going to merge onto the existing ones. Do that, and we are expecting train loads of ice.
You can stab her after she's dead.
Okay, now, I have stuff on me. Good. Get my building stuff candy. We need to have our rails here and here. And now we need to correct the okay, we've got the signals. This is all hooked up, and we should now start getting ice back. So that'll bring in ice. I am going to just put this up here somewhere. Kind of put it in place and worry about it. So we need fluoroketoned liquid cold, which means I need to build this down where we have cold fluoroketone. I would rather build it where we have cold fluoroketone than bring the cold fluoroketone all the way up. Now we've got this set up here. Okay, it's going to be kind of like that. Oh, we've got cold going in and hot going out. Right. I better bring up my planner here. So let's see. This is one of the ones where we have half of our fluoroketones. It's really like this, because again, we put out hot fluoroketone, and that produces cold. Like that. Okay, so these guys are producing 0.3 hot fluoroketone per second. This takes in 4, so really we're going to have a central source of this. I am going to make this as big as the other one. And I will handle the fluoroketone all the way at the bottom. So Alt X on this whole thing. This says we are producing 3.6, let's do this per minute. 216 hot fluoroketone per minute. And we want 432 cold. This guy, whoops, 240. So I need, well, let's do 3 of these guys. Don't know how many I need. Tag these in just a little bit. I should have done this as a repeatable unit. Yeah, let's do the whole repeatable unit thing as usual. These will be sent upwards. So you have 2 solid inputs and a solid output. You are going to need to send your fluid out and your solid out. Solid rates are fairly low, so we can do, I think I'm going to do this. Mark you as moving the science. Should have done this a while ago. Oh well, I got excited about other things. And the science needs to go, oh, wait a minute. The science is going to go right into the logistics network because it has to be sent all the way up to our robots, to our exports. So really, I could take all of this, move it back by 1. Okay, and you guys are just going to output directly into red chests. Let's move this down 1 so we are centered properly. Okay, so obvious connections are there. Okay, now these we are going to go into logistic network here and conditional making it on. Sorry, I had to cough. Cryoscience packs, less than, let's bring it all the way up to 4,000 in stock. Get more than 4,000 in stock, then we'll stop making them. Other than that, we're good. These guys, I can just put in, hold on. Actually, I need to do it like that so that these are cool too. So there's the hot fluoroketone coming down from here. And we want to refill the hot fluoroketone from down here if we don't have enough. And I can just do that right here. Let's put in a thingamajigger here. And a pump. and your condition is the amount of hot fluoroketone in that thingy is less than 12K. Okay, so we pumped it in to here. That actually got it up really quick. And now any that comes down from here will increase it, and then we will turn it back into cold fluoroketone, and we're just fine. We have our outputs on the right. I am going to make the fluids match across like that. And now we have inputs. Inputs are ice and lithium plate. I am going to bring the ice down on a belt. We have ice up there. We'll go ahead and bring it down somewhere in here. Please tell me I've got ice, ice, and ice. Cool. And this is a repeatable unit. I want to document that these are moving science. Okay, now I need lithium. Now I am pretty sure we just needed the one of these guys. Just like that. Inflates 0.1 per minute. I'm just going to go bink, bink, bink. Just like that. And you are going to need lithium coming in. Like that. You need to have that for heating. See, where do we have lithium coming in? Here's lithium, right here. That's convenient because we have the tag end of lithium down here, which I can loop around and send back up. Well, that's really good. And I don't really worry too much about this now. Once you get used to the fact that you can't build compactly on Aquilo, it's not that bad. But just to make sure, yes, we do not need more than one of these. So I am going to put in efficiency, productivity modules in these guys if I can. With all these productivity modules in place, this group of 3 produces 6.48 per second. That's not very good. So one at a time. This is per minute. 6 per minute in one of these. I think I'm just going to go with the 6 per minute. Let's put efficiency modules in them. Actually, if I do efficiency and a couple of speed, can I balance it out? Well, that's nice. That does 12. Yeah, I like that. How are we doing for power? We are using 600 out of 2,000, and we're good. We've got the fusion plant means we have all the power we need at this point. So you are producing. You are waiting on ice because I haven't run the ice yet. I am going to grab from here down to here, and you are going to be my repeatable unit. 1, 2, 3. $180 UPS, yeah, and falling. Okay, now these guys, I'm going to put them on that edge. First, we have to go for the ice. If I take the ice down here, we can bring it across. Yeah, let's work from there. I'm going to bring it over a little bit further and come down next to this guy. There we go. So this should be calling in ice, or ice drop. There are no trains on the way to the stop. The train limit is 2. Okay, what's the deal with the ice train? Our first station is loading as much as it can on ice. And I am dead sure that we haven't been using all of it for anything. So that means that I have not set up the schedule properly for ice, which is possibly absolutely the truth. So this is a ice take station, limit 2. We have a ice train that is full, and it has no schedule. Haha. Turn you to manual while I adjust your schedule. We are going to add an interrupt, which is smart drop item. Okay. And you're going to say ice take. Wait until full cargo and oops. Inactivity 2 seconds. So if we have full cargo, to wait 2 seconds. Or we're going to wait for has cargo and inactivity 15 seconds. So go 15 seconds without a load, we'll go with a partial cargo. And we are going to an ice drop. I think we only have the one ice train. But when he gets back here and starts loading up again, I will duplicate him, assuming he needs to be duplicated. Trains and vehicle fuel. Okay, once you fill up and leave, I can put the other train down. And if I have stocked up on training gear, I think it is, we're just going to be good. And apparently, you didn't get the memo. Well, let's see what's happening over on the other side. You're moving around too fast. So ice machines, you. Okay. You. Oops, wrong one. We need to be looking at the groups. Ice. You're full. Why didn't you leave? Probably have limit set to 0 here. Okay, so we are putting out ice like crazy. Good. I need to send it over this way. Oh, I am pointed the wrong direction. That's not going to help. You're down. You're going down. You're going down. Yeah, I just rotated my blueprint the wrong direction, but we're recovered. Where are we headed here? We're headed... Oh, we're headed right for here. We're there. Okay. And this is where we get the ice. I think I'm going to do this the other way. No, that's not you. It is this guy. Why am I... Why was I nattering about this? This is the one where we come to. There we go. There we go. Ice coming in. Ice coming in. Science coming out. So let's take a look at our science production. We got a little bit as we started things up, and now we got our ice in. We are producing at a nice steady 60 per minute. Cool. Not as much as I might want, but more than I had by far. You are waiting on lithium plate. Oh, the lithium plates are half of what they need to be, probably because I put in these modules. Okay, well, in that case, I am going to shift these over to that. There we go. So we're not using productivity but at least that will punch our production back up to where it's expected to be. So this guy says I have 100 ready to go. This guy says I'm waiting on lithium plate. This guy says I'm filtering. Oh, look at this. Why are you connected? That's really, really weird because it should have just been moving it output full. So the only thing we want to do is filter our output to be lithium plate. No conditions or anything. I'm going to put extra one in. So I do not understand why it was doing that. Okay, green spots all the way down. You are stopped because why? You don't have ice. Okay, that's not right. Ice comes down here, picks up for you, picks up for you, picks up for you. There we go. So I guess that one just wasn't plopped down because there was already a heat pipe where I needed that up. There we go. Now what are we doing? Now we've gotten up to 131 a minute, so this is a really good rate of cryogenic science production. Make more cryoscience is done. Next, dedicate silo to cryoscience. We have several silos here. I'm going to grab one of these up here and we are going to dedicate it to cryoscience. I put you in there. You are going to be buffer chest so I can request it to somewhere else if I need to. But I want to buffer up 2,000 cryoscience up here. And you are no longer doing automatic requests. You are moving cryoscience only. So this rocket will be full for cryoscience. Now, other rockets will be able to carry additional cryoscience if they want, but this guy's going to be full. Done. Dedicate silo to fusion fuel. Research all technologies. How about that? So all technologies means all non-infinite technologies, which means we've now finished the tech we need. I'm going to continue work here for a moment. Use filters, blue science. This is going to be fusion fuel. You are no longer doing automatic stuff. You're only moving fusion fuel. I am requesting in 1,000 fusion fuel. Of the 2,000 that we had. Okay. So if somebody stops here at Aquilo, they will be able to get fusion fuel. Yay! Research, go to the edge of the solar system. That just completed. Okay, next thing. I'm a little worried. I started this Victory 2 platform. And I just copied the old platform. So if we need to, we can come back and, if we destroy the first one, I can hop in the second one and go out there too. Do I need to be on board for this to work? I don't think I need to be on board. This guy, auto request, thank you. Otherwise it will never get this. So we're just going to let this auto build. And I'll go ahead and request in the victory supplies and the. I need the fusion starter kit. Fusion kit, there we go. So I need a fusion kit. We'll send down the stuff we don't need, but we definitely need to have the. Oh, wait a minute. Get rid of those. This will get me extra fuel. I forget which barrels I need. And the barrels are not in the blueprint, so I need to put those in place as well. And not the barrels, the unbarreler. And we need the hot stuff, so we're going to empty the hot barrel. So we need the hot barrel, not the cold barrel. Should have made a copy of that before I wiped it out. Okay, so you'll continue to make. So, victory. Are we ready to do this? I don't know if I'm ready to do this or not. I really don't. Add station. Solar system edge. We are stopped here. And I am going to make sure that this does not progress past this condition. In fact, I think what I'm going to do, pause thrust. I'm going to turn off all of these guys. We have a solar system edge. And if I need to turn this around, I will turn it around manually. We have fuel, we have repairs, we have a whole bunch of extra parts that are left over from building the station. We have extra railgun turrets. I think we're as ready as we're going to get. I should have named it Leroy. So I'm going to leave this on X1. I'm going to be watching, because I'm already seeing the railguns shoot at these guys. Some of my railguns are allowed to shoot at the smaller ones. Oh my, there's a huge one. Hey, railguns, you can fire at him? Yay, one shot. Nice. So let's quickly just, I'm going to have this up on my screen over there. So red is desired quantities and green is what we've got. So we're going to be monitoring our asteroid levels and our ammo levels. As long as everything down there is negative, we're good. So now that we're exporting cryoscience again, our science will continue to make progress. So we'll be working on the infinite sciences. But we have officially researched all of the non-infinite science. That's great. I didn't think I was going to actually be doing that. I thought there would be some that I wouldn't bother with, but apparently As time has gone by, I've just kind of queued up everything. Now, there were some that I was explicitly going to skip over for a while. For instance, there's a planting trees on Novice, and there's a fish farm thing, which I really wasn't going to deal with at all until we got into can we build legendary everything. You know, I think I can increase stuff here. I think I might even be able to increase my platform speed. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and increase the platform speed. We're currently running at 45 per second of fuel. I'm going to bring it up to 60 per second by 7. So 60 times 7 fuel. Our speed is creeping up. Fuel consumption and oxidizer consumption is creeping up. I do need to watch out because the asteroid density should be going up. Let's take a look at Factoriopedia really quick. Oh, actually from here on, density is going to go down a bit until we start getting huge carbonics. Well, this is easy peasy. I think I over-engineered this thing. I think I can go even faster. So I'm going to bring this up to 600. Actually, let's bring it up to 700. So 100 per minute in each of the thrusters. I am expecting our fuel efficiency to drop off rapidly, but we're going to watch our fuel counts, and if we start burning fuel faster than we are producing it, we'll notice. Per minute we are producing, per second, we're producing 800 per second. So 700 per second is less than we are producing, but not by a whole lot. So this is probably about as fast as we'll want to run this platform ever until we get additional fuel. We are running at low fuel efficiency. Yeah. But that really doesn't matter. Oh, look at all these huge asteroids. This is beautiful. Now, since I am not aboard, if we make it out to the solar system edge without problems, I'm tempted to knock my speed back down so we get fuel efficiency back and let it try to go as far as it can out toward the shattered planet. We'll see how far it gets. I'm going to want to bring the speed down to much slower, like 50. So the graph claimed that density was going down. I think this is still, maybe it's the density the big ones went up. Let's take a look. Victoriopedia. Okay, so the huge ones are growing. Okay. So the density I'm seeing there is because there's huge ones out there. And they get carved up into medium ones, which get carved up into small ones, and so on. So huge, large. And absolutely not a problem. We are still, we still have basically a full load of ammunition. look at this one, I can see everything. So down at the bottom, you got the negative counts for the ammunition, which I can see on the lower right. And in the upper left, I can watch our fuel. I could, in theory, go faster because the fuel isn't dropping. We also have our velocity 151 sitting there. Yeah, see, as things get in range of the turrets that are using the piercing ammo, they're just basically melting. We're even wasting a lot of ammunition on asteroids to our left and right that are just going by. And we're still not making a dent in our ammo. Now, we don't have railguns pointed left and right, so I can't really stop at the solar system's edge. I need to start throttling down. So I'm going to take this from 700 down to 140. Okay, so we're going to be running dead slow. That should get us 20 per second fuel consumption on each one. Should get our efficiency way up, should get our speed way down. And I'm going to add station Shattered Planet. Now, if I just say go, it will continue onward to the edge and then just from there just continue onward toward the Shattered Planet. Okay, speed 70 kilometers a second-ish. Increase the UPS. I want to see what happens. Maximum UPS 140. Yeah, I need to understand what the UPS limits are in space age, so I can design a better base that's more productive, a better set of planetary bases that are more productive, while being able to run at higher UPS values. For reference, right now, we are basically only using 3 cores out of the 16 cores, 32 logical cores in this processor. So if there were a way to get Factorio to be more parallel, that would really help. They've already done some parallelization. It used to be, it was single-threaded the whole thing. So they've done some stuff, and they've got a 3x. And as someone who has done ports of single-threaded software into multiprocessor systems, 3x improvement is pretty good. Now, Amdahl's law really bites you. I mean, if a quarter of your program is still single-threaded, the best you can do is 4x, because the rest of it, you can go off to a billion different processors, but you got to come back to one thread running that other quarter. $98, $99, back to normal speed. Look at all of those asteroids. Yay! We have beaten the game by dispatching an interstellar space platform. We can continue playing as long as we like. Grow the factory, research technologies, optimize production, unlock more achievements. Continue. The title is Farsight Factorio 2025. There we go. Comment. No, thank you. This is wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Let's upload this. So I have now uploaded a snapshot of my game to the Factorio.com space map. Includes, let's see, maps of my planets and platforms, recipe icons, tags, station names, production kills and energy statistics, map seed, player count, and mods. Yes. Server package processing. Wait for this to, he's done. And now we are going to continue, because I am not aboard, I'm going to let this platform continue on outwards toward the shattered planet, dead slow. Now what's going to happen as we get further and further out, everything is going to ramp up. Now this is a huge vertical scale, so we're seeing a linear ramp up in these asteroids, all of them. And as we get further out, eventually we'll be dominated by the huge Promethium asteroids. I will probably not get anywhere near that. Achievement-wise, there are some achievements that I could get that I haven't. I guess things like eco-friendly. Remember, I had to dance around the achievements earlier on. I didn't go and have the game open with the achievements cleared and finish the research oil processing. So some of these I'll have to open on another game, but I've never built a Spidertron or gotten killed by a moving locomotive in Space Age. Some of these are just fun. So 10,000, 30,000, and 60,000 kilometers, I'm going to pin those. We're going to see how far we can get. I haven't used any atomic bombs. I haven't done any combat robots. Haven't used any artillery yet. And then there's all the quality stuff, and then there is so long and thanks for all the fish. I'm not sure whether you can do that in Space Age or not. I know that in 1.0, I got that one, you just put a fish in the rocket when it launches, but that's, you know, non-Space Age, where one rocket is a big thing. Now it's just like, you know, we can just load a fish on a rocket. Now, I don't want to interrupt what I'm doing here to go back to novice. Oh, we got 10,000. And we're starting to see Promethium. Ooh, we're not picking any up yet. So apparently, from what I hear, Promethium doesn't stack. So you want to process it on board. So Promethium asteroid chunks are used in Promethium science packs. So we need 25 chunks, 10 biter eggs, and a quantum processor. So somehow you have a source of biter eggs aboard. These spoil in 30 minutes, which means you put a bunch of biter eggs aboard and you have 30 minutes to go get them. Or you bring back a bunch of Promethium chunks. Now, I think because it doesn't stack, basically we get one Promethium chunk here. So 25 of these, this is one Promethium science. So I think you end up putting them on belts. Anyway, Not interested in doing Promethium in this run. In fact, this run is over. I'm going to turn us back up to X4 here and watch as we sweep aside the asteroids on our way out to 60 km. How are we doing quantity-wise? We should be running our ammo down a bit. But we're not. I mean, look at this. We still have over threshold on ammo. I mean, we're not, maxed out anymore, but we're certainly not using up a lot of it. So next time I see a whole bunch of blank space ahead of me, I'm going to go take a look at what's going on. How are we doing here? We have everybody flying. Oh, this guy isn't, because we're still backed up on that. We're backed up on, okay, so we are absolutely full on our key ammunition, and it is making it with all but one of the machines here. So we are keeping up with our desires. Yeah, look at this. Most of our machines are running, but we are keeping the belt full. Okay, that's 2 out of the 3 achievements. Speed us back up again. How far can we get before we... Let me see, when we start getting in danger of taking damage, I'm going to start running our speed down. Basically, that's not going to happen until things start getting into this inner defense region. Things are getting up to the top of that green bubble that I've got highlighted, and they're just already melted. So I think what I did was I spent a lot of time doing things around the base while a whole bunch of infinite science researched. Basically, I've got everything up to decent levels, which means that each one of these weapons that I'm firing is doing really good damage. And I basically packed my design based on hints that I'd seen. You see other people talking about their ships and late game ships, and you see all of these turrets and missiles and all of that. And I thought, well, let's just pack it all in a way that seems to fit. And I kind of guessed at how much production to use for the ammunition. Yeah, looking good. Okay, when I hit 60 megameters, I am going to go really quick and refill my soda. I will leave this running. I think out of sheer paranoia, I'm going to put it back down to X1, and I'm going to reduce my throttle. Currently, we are at 93% efficiency. I'm going to cut my throttle to half of what it is now. So we'll be basically drifting on forward. Wish there was a way to get rid of the UI on this. Let me check that. Googling, disabling the GUI. Hey, 60K, there we go. So disabling the GUI, Control Shift 4. Control Shift F4. Oh, there we go. So I'm going to just like this. Oh, we do need to reduce our throttle first. Oh, it really did remove the entire user interface. I'm going to bring you down to 70 fuel per second. Let's see what our efficiency is. We're stabilizing at probably 40 kilometers a second-ish. So 10 fuel per second for each thruster. Efficiency 98+%. 113 or 114 meganewtons, just under 40 kilometers per second. Okay, I'm going to let this run. I will be right back. We're still alive. Yay! And everything is still melting before it comes into our bubble. I think I'm going to capture that as my thumbnail. Maybe. maybe one of these more impressive shots of all of this stuff around me. Are we going to make it to 100 kilometers? Must be 100 million, 100,000 kilometers? I am impressed. I did not expect my first post-Aquilo platform to do anywhere near this well. But then I get the feeling that once we start taking damage, it's going to be over very quickly. It's too bad that none of the signals coming from the hub give us things like distance from where we left and distance to where we're going. Okay, we have velocity. I suppose I could set up an integrator to read out how far we've gone since we departed. It would be kind of an estimate, but why not? Maybe our next platform I'll carry forward things like a distance since we departed and time we've been parked. Yeah, if I have materials on me, I could. I could totally do this. Okay, it won't have the total on it, but let's see. First of all, we just want to integrate the V signal. So start from here. Actually, let's put it up in here somewhere. Yeah. So red signal coming in here. And I'm going to loop back on the green signal. And this says V. V's in kilometers per second. Output is V. Okay. Now this is going to be off by a factor of 60. So you divide that by 60. So input is V. Output is V, output is D. And then we take our small mixie tubes, red seal in is feeding us our velocity of 39 kilometers per second. Okay, we are incrementing by 39 every tick, and we're dividing by 60 to get back to kilometers. And I'm going to put in a bias so I can correct this. So basically this minus this 118, 26,000. Okay, the big booms I'm hearing are just the rail guns going off, right? Damage taken 0. So 98. Need to add another 17,000 to this. 3, 6, and 7 is 13, so 43,000. Number 3. 119, 120. Oh, wait a minute. It should be 1201, so yeah, we're way off. I need to put in a much larger bias. So 100,000 gets us to 129. We need to be 12. So 11 with 4 zeros. Okay. Minus a little bit. Oh, wait a minute, that's not right. D14K. I'm going to divide this there to get something a little more. Okay, so 15. 123. So let's trim off a 0. So 158. This should be 1246, 1246, 1, so 1,000. Oh, haha. Yeah, we're not doing anything here because we're not adding it in the right place. There. That works better. So this is our trim. 125, 11, so they're 100. One, 2, 6, 1, 2, 8, minus 20-ish. One, 2, 6, 6. Close enough. So this is in hundreds of kilometers. And of course, at some point, this is going to wrap around. But basically, when 60 times our distance in kilometers exceeds either 2 billion or 4 billion, that's going to wrap. Okay, I do now have a display. So Control Shift F4. Do not ask you what Control Alt F4 does. I was there when the Ancient Magic was written. Do not read from me from the Book of Ancient Magic. So this is not the actual odometer, it's just kind of an estimate. It's tracking pretty well. Look at that, nothing is even getting close to our inner defensive area. Okay, 40 kilometers per second is really very slow, but I do want to see how far I can get. Now, there have been the idea of throttling based on the amount of fuel, amount of ammo that you've got on the belt, but I think that's going to be too much of a laggy control signal. What's going to happen is you're going to get a dense bunch of asteroids, and you're going to start decreasing the amount of ammo, and later on, once it's reduced it by enough, then you'll cut back the throttle. And if you get to an area where there's not so many of them, you might throttle up too much. So tuning that particular control loop might end up that you can't get anything more stable than a constant. My intuition is that your response time would be very, very slow. You'd be very conservative about increasing your speed, and you would want to be very aggressive about decreasing it. Almost like a huge D term in your PID controller. Well, PD controller. I don't think we'd be integrating anything unless we wanted to do something proportional to the distance that we traveled. And then there's the idea that maybe you assume that asteroid density is proportional to distance traveled. And what you want to do is you want to have your speed inverse of that. So you might want to control your speed based on distance traveled so that you keep a stable asteroid density. I'm curious as to how far we can go. And since we're not getting to our higher defensive areas, I'm going to go ahead and turn up the simulation speed. Okay, so we are ready to schedule more science. How about railgun shooting speed, and railgun damage and railgun shooting speed, and railgun damage and railgun shooting speed, and railgun damage and railgun shooting speed? Yeah. We don't actually need more damage. They're one-shotting the asteroids as it is. These asteroids have... Okay, so the huge asteroids here have 10,000 damage. damage is 10k plus 24k physical. So literally, more damage from each shot is not going to help anything. Shooting speed will be good though. The other thing is stronger explosives. We've got stronger explosives at 11 right now. Shooting speed 10. I don't think we need stronger explosives right now. I could start dumping stuff into research productivity. Let's just speed up our railguns. Shooting speed 0.35 plus 0.26 per second. Don't know what that means. So it must be 0.35 per second is the default, which is a bit slower, a bit faster than 1 every 3 seconds. Yeah, okay. So every couple of seconds these guys are cycling through. I've got a lot of them though. And the huge ones aren't getting very much inside my railgun cones. And 46,000 kilometers. Wow. We're running at 208 science per minute. Let's see, this says we'll have the railgun shooting speed 6 done in 2.5 hours. Divided by whatever our, yeah, 1.5 hours, 1.25 hours. So yeah, it'll be about an hour real time. For distance traveled. 1562 versus 1566. Oh, we're tracking along pretty good here. Okay, so basically just adding up all the V values and divided by 60 gets you your kilometers pretty good. So where does this run out? So times 1, 2, 4, slash that by 60. So I think this is going to be 71 million kilometers. where the product of that is going to be 4.3 billion, so around 70 million. Yeah. We should have our odometer working properly for quite a while. That's assuming that's a 32-bit unsigned. If it's signed, it's going to be half that, so 35-ish, 36 million. How far is the shattered planet? $4 million. Okay. So I've mentioned a few times on recordings that I sometimes have the bad habit of over-engineering things. I made some guesses as to what capacities I would need on this ship, and clearly, if I was only going to the edge of the solar system, I have way over-designed this. I didn't need nearly this much. I should have sent off a simple ship, like maybe one of my existing ships, to see how far we got and what failed, and then build something a little bit bigger and see where that failed and so on. Instead, I just kind of built something that felt right. And look at us fly. It seems like the density of asteroids outside of our kill zone is going up, but nothing's making it into the inner area here to speak of. It's kind of like these front guys here. Yeah, if I put one of these up, you can see as the asteroids come into its bubble, it's chewing them up very, very quickly. So at this point, it looks like we are outstripping our production of piercing ammunition. Yes, indeed we are. It looks like our steel is running low. Oh, look at this. We were only getting half our steel. Oh, wow. Oh, wow, man. I'm glad I noticed that. I'm not sure how I didn't notice it earlier. But yeah, lack of steel would be a big problem. Okay, these guys are now all together 6.25 per second. Let's do per minute, 375 per minute. So, piercing ammunition. We are producing, actually we're producing 280. So we're not really capping it off. And how much are we using? We're averaging 400 a minute now. See how the usage of ammunition is going up? And we have exceeded our production ability on the ammunition. So until we got to this point, we were able to beat it back using these front guys. And now with the steel in place, that gets us all the way back up to our normal peak. Can I get any more? By going to full speed on these guys. Now this means that we are slightly under on here, so we're going to start tuning these up. Okay, that's balanced. This brings our production up to 450. Well, we've been shooting 400, so that should get us going. Quick tweaks like that. So as long as we are making more than we are shooting, we're good. So we want 2.8K more. Is that going to go up or down? It should be going down now slowly. It's not changing. Belts. Show me how much ammo is on the belt, please. 1152. So it is going up slowly. Do the same thing here. This is our railgun ammo. Okay, now the inside belt we want to look at. Missile ammo. Be sure we don't change this one. $36.72, so we've got plenty of missiles. Oops, 1012, 1028. Yeah, we are pushing hard on our ammo, which means that for heading out to the Shattered Planet at about 200,000 kilometers, this is not quite enough. Six. Okay. I think what I can do is I can take these guys. I'm going to shut down our side guns. We're still doing more than okay on the missiles. Oh, that wasn't good. Okay, we do need to be shooting from these guys, don't we? And in fact, these guys were not actually properly programmed. Let's see. There we go. Now these are all properly set up. We are still falling behind on this. I don't think I have enough space to build a second set of them. I could put in that. Are we going any faster? 330 a minute. We've been averaging 342. Although the shooting rate goes down as we run out of bullets. The 80. The lower that number, the more chances are that we're going to run out of ammo because we don't have enough density of ammo on the belt. We've made it past the 200,000 kilometer mark. Railgun ammo is doing real good though. I mean, we're below our thresholds on all of our ammunition, but it's not going down very fast. I really expected us to be destroyed long ago. What if I cut our speed further? I'm going to cut our fuel in half. So speed inversely proportional to asteroid density. I think we're net producing ammo, although I saw some flickers. Notice that we are dumping iron over the side because we are madly making copper. What does this look like if we don't speed up time? So we're only moving at 18 kilometers a second. Essentially totally efficient on fuel. Verify that down here. We're at 100% efficiency on fuel. All of our ammo machines are running flat out. I am going to change you guys to be all the way like that. And I think we're going to do the same thing down here. Uh-oh, we are out of speed modules. Taking damage now. Okay. I'm not seeing any damage markers up here on the front though. So we did take some damage behind when I had those guns turned off. Okay, we're requesting X16. That just means as fast as it will go. Currently we're running at 2.5 times speed. So 150 updates a second. I think this is where they zoom in. So if I put my top edge there. There we go. So we're seeing the asteroid spawn at the top. Counters are kind of small in the lower left. May or may not be readable. Almost easier just to look at the belt and let your eyes scan across with the ammo and get a feel for whether it's mostly full or mostly empty. But for the odometer, I'm going to make this a real design. What I want to do is I only want to pass through this will need to be a decision anyway. I'll need to redesign the odometer. I need to set it so that it resets when the velocity goes under zero, or well, less than or equal to zero. So if we come to a stop, and we'll clear it. If we drift backwards, we'll clear it. $220,000 kilometers. Still going. I think the damage taken went up when we had the guns turned off on the sides. I think we're doing okay. Apparently you can take a screenshot from the console. Screenshot width, height, 1. And that should have saved it in the script output folder. See if I can find that. Oh, yes. But it didn't get the whole screen. Kind of got out to here. But what resolution does this think it's running at? Settings, graphics.